Hi, technical writing students. This is Julie Gross, your technical writing instructor. I wanted to review memos as we looked at memos last week, week 4. With the memo, some things to remember is that you need the memo title up here at the top, the heading that says memo. It should be bigger than the rest of the font, and it should be centered, and it should be all capital letters. You also need, as a formatting thing, you need to have your memo centered vertically where there's enough white space at the top to match the white space there is at the bottom. That's just something that makes it look nice that way. Your heading on a memo should say to, from, date, and subject. They should be all capital letters. And then we should move over this direction for the other information. You tab over so that there's a straight line right here for this information. If you have a person's name listed in the to and from section, you need their name, a comma, and then their job title listed. Your subject should be very specific, just like with an email. You need an introduction paragraph in your memo. Your introduction paragraph should just basically state the purpose as to why you're writing. That's really all you need for your introductory paragraph. You also need a conclusion paragraph that tells your reader how to respond and also sums up the memo. All of the middle paragraphs, that information would be the body or the discussion section. Your discussion should give all the details of the memo. That's where the meat of the memo is, to tell your readers what they need to know. It's always good to have at least one bulleted or numbered list in your memo so that the information is clear and easy to read for your readers, so it's easy in and easy out. That's a quick recap of memos. We are going to use the same memo format this week for our instant reports, so I will show you where we're going to go there. If you turn in your books to Chapter 8, Chapter 8 is the short report chapter, and we're going to talk about that for just a moment. There are many short reports listed in Chapter 8, but the one we're going to focus on specifically is incident reports. We're going to look at those today and talk about them a little bit. So turn in your books with me to page 239 where it talks about short reports. Some things to mention and to remember for your quiz would be, number one, that short reports can be presented in either letter or memo format. Either of those is acceptable. It mentions that right on 239. On 240, where it talks about audience in short reports, something that your audiences are going to expect is that you write concisely and clearly. We have to have that brevity. Again, we want the information to be easy to read and easy to access for your readers. On 241, it does say with short reports, it is okay and absolutely necessary to do research sometimes. Not all reports call for that, but some do call for necessary research, so it is okay to put specific research in your short reports. On 254 is where our chapter starts to talk about incident reports specifically. Incident reports, it says there on 254, are made for a variety of reasons. It says it gives you some of those specific reasons as to when to submit an incident report. It gives you examples. Any kind of an accident, like a fire or an automobile accident, you might need to submit a incident report. Also things like environmental dangers, including computer viruses. That'd be another time when you might want to submit an incident report. On 255 and 256, it gives you an example of an incident report. And then in part 2 of this video, I'm also going to show you another example of an incident report so you can look at the formatting and the things that are required in each section of an incident report. So check that out on 255 and 256. 256 gives us the parts of an incident report, the things that are necessary to have in an incident report, and that would be this list here, these 7 things. It lists those on 256 and 257 in your book. An instant report, it does note also on 256, should not be sent as an email. An instant report is important enough that you need to send it in a different format than an email. A memo would be fine. You can do that as a hard copy. And then under the description, something interesting here as well, number 4, talks about the description of what happened. That's probably one of the largest sections in the incident report, where you're going to give all sorts of information, like what happened and why it happened, how the incident occurred, and what led up to the incident. On 257, it talks about protecting yourself legally with an incident report. An incident report is an official legal record, and it gives us 4 things on 257 and 258 to think about. 2 of the most important things are on 257. One of those is to be accurate, objective, and complete when you write your incident reports. And then number 3, it lists there as well, in giving facts and not opinions. You specifically want to stick to those things that you saw with your 5 sentences. You saw, you heard, you smelled, all of those things, rather than giving opinions on what you thought you saw or why you thought the incident happened. You need to stick to the facts and leave opinions out of an incident report. And that's, again, going to help you to write it as it is an official legal record. All right, this pretty much sums up the first part of incident reports. I'm going to bring up the rubric and an example of an incident report in the second video here. So be looking for that on my MTI. Thank you.